Welcome to another SkyDemon tutorial video. Today we're going to cover more of SkyDemon's weather functionality, including GA forecasts, wind forecasts, rainfall data and animations. GA forecasts are a special kind of bulletin adopted by certain European countries, which look at the worst case horizontal visibility and cloud base forecast for a route or area and transform that forecast into one of four values: closed, marginal, difficult and open. In SkyDemon we integrate GA forecast routes for Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia and Croatia. You'll see them pop up automatically when your planned route crosses any of these countries. Let's take a close look at this route to see how it works. First, bring up the What's Here menu for the route. We can see this route is called S81. The S just means Switzerland. Its reference level is in theory the highest point of terrain on the route, assuming the route was flown and defined precisely, which it isn't. It's this reference level which is used by the forecaster to determine the openness of the route. We can see that the route is being drawn with a dashed orange line, but what do these coloured boxes mean? GA forecasts are produced in 2-hour blocks, and conventionally 3 of these 2-hour blocks are shown so you can see how the forecast will change over time. In this example, the route is forecast to be marginal initially, then improving to difficult, then improving further still to open. This is a fairly typical example of weather in the Alps over the day. One of the blocks has a yellow border. That's the one which is effective right now, whose colours are also taken to draw the line itself. We'll come back to GA forecasts in a moment, but first let's scroll away and look at wind forecasts. SkyDemon pulls down wind forecasts for the part of the world where you've planned a route. It needs to do this so it can accurately tell you the length of your flight and calculate the headings you need to fly. It also shows the strength of the winds aloft on the map with wind barbs. These reflect the wind at the main level you've planned your flight, in this case 3,000 feet. You can get a rough idea of the wind strength by adding up the barbs. Big ones are worth 10 knots and little ones are worth 5. For example, this one here is going to be between 15 and 19 knots. Alternatively, you can of course open the What's Here menu, which tells you this wind is precisely coming from 239 degrees at 15 knots. What if you want to see what the wind will be doing later on? Open the Weather menu, and at the top you'll see the Weather Time slider. The orange arrow indicates what time we're looking at, and the pink line indicates now. You can grab the slider and move it around, so that we're looking an hour or two into the future, or into the past. Notice how as I do this, the wind barbs on the map are rotating as the wind direction changes, and their strength is changing too. Let's close the weather menu for a second and scroll back to our GA forecast route. Open the weather menu again and do the same thing. You can see that as I scroll forward in time, we move on to the next 2-hour forecast window, where the route has improved to difficult. Then further still and our route is now open, which is the best possible state. If you look really closely, you may notice a tiny black dot on top of the active block, which shows at a glance how far through the active block we currently are. It's most noticeable as I'm scrolling through time, because you can see it move. The last piece of weather data SkyDemon can show you is rainfall. We license rainfall data for the whole of Europe. Let's try it. Open the weather menu and use the switch next to show rainfall. You can see the rainfall clearly on the map, the strong rain obscuring what's underneath. If you need to see what's underneath, either turn it off again or temporarily zoom through it, like this. The time slider functionality I showed you a moment ago also works with rainfall. You can slide backwards through time to see how the rain has changed in the past, and forwards through time to see how it's likely to change over the next hour. If the screen goes pink, it means there's no rainfall data available for that time. Finally, you can animate the weather in SkyDemon to get a quick idea of how it's changing over time. Open the weather menu we'll turn on rainfall and forecast winds aloft, and press the play button. You can change how far into the past and future it goes and the speed. Notice how the wind arrows have started actually blowing around the map and the rainfall is sweeping through. Even the little conditions indicators from METAR and TAF will change with the passage of time. That's it for this video. Try planning a flight in one of the countries I mentioned earlier to see how GA forecast routes can help you plan a safe flight in some of the most beautiful flying scenery in Europe.